everybody knows SEC and Big Ten are going to be 1-2, however you want to order them in the conference pecking order. But what are the odds that, as Brett Yormark has taken this league forward, that they can be the third best league out there long term when we look at the future of college football?
Well, it's so interesting, right? Because I think that you have these differing strategies of how to get there. With the ACC, they're trying to elevate their top brands. And traditionally, that's probably a smart choice. I mean, you could argue that the Big 12 was created to elevate their two top brands. And that hasn't worked, right? The two top brands obviously had a great 2000s. It's been a little more inconsistent in the 2010s. And it's, I think, in some ways depressed the middle and bottom of the league. Well, they're going to take the opposite approach now, more of what the SEC did in the 90s and 2000s, where they said, look, as being members of the SEC, we are important, we matter, and and so we should be treated as equal programs. That's more of what the Big 12 is doing. And the Big 12 has 12 programs that this year, if you look at the SP Plus ratings, are rated in the top half of college football. All 12, or I guess all 14 this year. And no other conference has that. Every other conference in the Power 5 has 2 or 3 programs that are in the bottom half. This is going to be a crazy year because of it. And so I think what's going to help this endeavor a lot is moving from a 4 to a 12-team playoff. One, you're guaranteed a spot, essentially, if you're the Big 12 because of the quality of competition here. And two, I think you're going to get 2 a lot of years. And in a lot of ways, I think that's going to be how the second and third and fourth best conferences are judged, or how many teams are you getting in. You're probably assuming 3 each from the SEC and the Big Ten in a lot of years. But if you can be a conference that consistently gets in 2, I think that puts you in a fantastic position.
Yeah, I would agree. That's what the Big 12 certainly has to be shooting for. We talk a lot about realignment here on this channel and what's going on with the Pac-12. There's a lot of interest in that. Is it as bad as some of us make it out to be, or as the media, the Pac-12 folks will probably tell you the media's vilified them a little bit too much in this, or just exaggerated their struggles? How difficult of a situation are they really in right now?
So here's the piece that's real, is that there is limited space for inventory, right? There aren't tons of windows available to buy up because the SEC is going to be on so many of them. The Big Ten is going to be on 3 different networks. You look at the Big 12 now; they're going to be during the day on Fox and ESPN. And so you're talking about a position where obviously they have to find times to play games and networks to play games. And so I do think that piece is very concerning. ESPN and Fox don't need them the same way as they did in the previous contract. Now, I think their most valuable asset right now is that fourth window, is being able to play the 9 p.m. game. And Brett Yormark recognizes that, and that's why you've seen them, I think, be very aggressive with BYU to potentially play in that slot. So it's a lot. I mean, I think that as a fan of college football, it is a tough thing to be able to, we don't want to lose a true West Coast conference, I think that's bad for the sport, but they have not maneuvered well, and the fact that Fox and ESPN, and I don't want to use the company line too much, but bet on the Big 12, I think is a concerning sign if you're the Pac-12.
All right, last question. At the end of the day, Brett Yormark said he was going to be disappointed if in 2 years they don't have 14. I'll give you that 2-year timestamp. In 2 years, will the Big 12 be a conference of 14, or will it be more or less?
I'm going to say it sticks at 12. I think eventually the Pac-12 signs a contract that's okay and decides to stick together, and I don't think the Big 12 is going to move unless they can get one of those existing Power 5 brands.
Okay. Tell the people where they can find your work.
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Shehan Jeyarajah. Follow all my work at CBSSports.com, and thanks so much for having me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shehan.